The key to resolving sub-Saharan Africa energy infrastructure.
In the recent past, several African countries have discovered oil, including our nation, Kenya. However, one of the key challenges in the sector has always been human capital, as governments have been forced to import skilled labor. It's for this reason that John Wezi, CEO Syntech Limited Nigeria, pointed out that it's a high time Africa invests in its human capital as a way of resolving sub-Saharan Africa energy infrastructure deficit.
Infrastructure has to do with having the right resources. The issue of capacity has to do with do we have the skill sets? What are the foundations both the public and the private sectors have put in place? What are the policies government have in place? How are the new education system supporting? I like to talk about STEM, science, technology, and engineering and mathematics. In sub-Saharan Africa, what are our government policies on STEM courses from foundation to support the sub-Saharan infrastructure deficit issue? So once we get that, then we're on track to be able to manage the needed infrastructure. Because getting STEM right from the younger secondary school age down to university is critical. What is the ratio or the percentage of sub-Saharan kids, our children, that are doing STEM courses? We need to push that up among the female, especially the girls, so that there is a mixture and a balance for the future. So those are, in my view, those are the human capacity development issues, the foundation we need to put together.
Infrastructure is not the only deficit that continues to act as a stumbling block towards the growth and development of the oil, gas, and energy sectors. According to John Olawole, representing the Director of Petroleum Resources Nigeria at the summit, the regulatory framework of the energy sector, and more specifically the gas industry, needs to be revisited given the importance of the energy source.
One of the key resources of Africa is gas. We are immensely endowed, and it is very important that we establish clear institutional, regulatory, and legal framework in order to leverage the importance and the benefits of gas for Africa's development. In order to gain the maximum benefit from gas as a resource, the policies should be clear. So in Nigeria, we've got the National Gas Policy, which is now approved. It is anchored on 5 major key points, and that's lessons Africa should learn. First, the institutions that regulate and monitor, both regulatory and commercial, should be clearly spelled out. The roles and responsibility must be delineated so that there's no confusion and there's no ambiguity. The policy should clearly show what you want to do. Gas is a resource on its own merit. It's a commodity, and you should build an industry around gas. Gas can fuel industrial economy. So it should not just be subservient to oil, but a resource on its own. So issues on reserves growth, on domestic gas supply, for in-country use and regional development, high-value exports in form of LNG and pipeline gas to other neighboring countries, as well as gas flares out. This is very important. Across these measures, that's what Nigeria government is doing now to ensure that we articulate policy direction and implement it so that we can leverage the importance of gas in the development of Nigeria and also for regional energy security.
As the world pushes towards sustainability, renewable energy holds the key that will go a long way in powering Africa's long-term development goals. To this end, Wesi reiterated that it's a high time change management is introduced to enhance adoption and usage of renewable energy in sub-Saharan Africa.
Renewable energy is the way to go for everybody globally, and it's growing at a fast pace. In fact, the market for renewable energy is in emerging markets. If you look at the emerging markets, sub-Saharan Africa will have the largest population. Now, for us to move at the pace that the world desires in order to meet the Sustainable Development Goals, item number 7, it talks about what? Affordable energy, clean energy, and sustainable. You get the point? We need to change the conversation, the way we currently are looking at implementing renewable energy. Who actually are we developing renewable energy for? It's for the younger generation. So we need to reach out to them and let people begin to change, to transit from the current energy sources to renewable energy. Change takes time. So my argument is that we need to understand the people issues for effecting change and bring it into infrastructure development, renewable specifically. So that's what I think we need to do. I think our governments, as well as all the players, both the manufacturers, the innovators, and everybody in the supply chain, we need to begin to deploy proper change management framework in getting renewables into sub-Saharan Africa. That's mine.
Even as the policymakers and other major players in the oil, gas and energy sectors meet to deliberate on their sustainability beyond this generation, it's paramount that each citizen is pulled into the conversation, given that it's only through them that the policies will translate into real-world impact.